Welcome to Monday Night Raw, and welcome to the Week in Review, episode 230. This is where we go over Monday Night Raw and Friday Night Smackdown in the same video. If you guys want to skip to Smackdown, skip about halfway through the vid. Let's jump right in. We open up the show with Mr. Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes gets interrupted by Dominic Mysterio, and Dominic says how he's going to win this match against Cody Rhodes for Mommy, Rhea Ripley, who was injured last week by Nia Jax. So Cody Rhodes, Dominic, they go at it one-on-one. We did have Damian Priest and Finn Balor on ringside, but they didn't really pose as a factor in Dominic winning this match because Cody Rhodes was able to pick up the victory with the Crossroads, with the Cody Cutter. 1, 2, 3. Cody Rhodes picks up the victory. After the match, it looks like Damian Priest and Finn Balor are going to jump on the apron, do a little 3-on-1 assault, and then here comes Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. They run down to back up Cody Rhodes, the Judgment Day hightail. They don't want any part of this. They don't want any part of Sami or Kevin, so they're out of there. And then Kevin asks Cody Rhodes, he's like, did you really bring Jey Uso to Raw? Why would you do something like that after all the history, after all the times he screwed you over, me over, so many people in the back over? And Cody Rhodes is like, I believe in second chances. And then Kevin, I think, is starting to warm up to Jey Uso a little bit, but Kevin Owens needs a definitive answer because now Jey's trying to join the Judgment Day, and Kevin he needs to know. I don't blame Kevin Owens one bit for having trust issues with Jey Uso, and for him to confront Cody Rhodes like that was really cool. Solid way to open up the show, really got me intrigued. Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods, the New Day, had a game of rock, paper, scissors to determine who can face Ivar. Kofi Kingston won the game of rock, paper, scissors. He went one-on-one with Ivar, and this match had no reason for being this good. This match was amazing. Match of the night, easily. My God, back and forth action. I don't know why they made this so good. It was freaking fantastic. The kickouts by both men were crazy. Ivar was doing insane moves like he always does. Kofi Kingston was getting squashed. In the end, Kofi Kingston hits the Trouble in Paradise and picks up the victory. He even hit an SOS on Ivar during this match. Absolutely outstanding work from Kofi Kingston and Ivar in this match. We did have Valhalla on ringside. She didn't really pose as a factor too much in trying to help Ivar win, but she was definitely disappointed in Ivar after the match. She was eyeing him down. Pretty hard-fought victory from Kofi Kingston. Great stuff right here. Shayna Baszler looked to team with Zoe Stark to go up against the women's tag team champions, Piper Niven and Chelsea Green. The match sort of got cut short because Nia Jax decided to rush the ring, attack everybody in sight, injure everybody, I'd assume, break everybody's ribs probably, have them out for weeks. Anyways, Nia Jax comes out. She sort of targets everywhere, and mainly Shayna Baszler. I feel like she was heavily targeting Shayna because a while back, before Nia was, I believe she was released, she actually got her arm broken by Shayna Baszler when their tag team had broken up, so this is a little revenge on Shayna in particular, but she did take out everybody, including the women's tag team champions. Am I glad that Nia Jax is back? I mean, I don't know. I don't really care. I'm not going to lie. I don't really care. I could have totally been fine with Raw without her, but she's back. She could be a good contender for Rhea Ripley. Shinsuke Nakamura was set to go one-on-one with Ricochet, but before Ricochet could come out, Seth Rollins' music hits. He is so frustrated with Shinsuke Nakamura. He runs down, tries to get his hands on Nakamura, isn't able to because security backs him off. They hold him back, and then Shinsuke Nakamura goes one-on-one with Ricochet. This was a solid match, no doubt about it. Up until the end, Shinsuke Nakamura tries to grab a steel chair, looks to use it on Ricochet while the ref is clearly looking, and then Ricochet's like, screw it, I'm going to use the steel chair. Whacks it right over the back of Shinsuke Nakamura, loses by disqualification, and then Shinsuke Nakamura just starts beating down Ricochet after he gets the upper hand with the steel chair, smashing his leg around the steel post, trying to break the leg of Ricochet, and here comes Seth Rollins, finally gets his hands on Shinsuke Nakamura, but then Shinsuke Nakamura, I swear, when Shinsuke turns heel, he's untouchable. When he's face, he always loses. So Shinsuke targets Seth, targets the back, drops him on the announce desk, and it's like, oh my gosh, Shin is untouchable. When he's heel, he is invincible, bro. I'm telling you, it's so weird. But yeah, he was just able to, he took out both Ricochet and Seth Rollins. The story continues between Shinsuke and Seth freaking Rollins. It's alright. Chad Gable wants Gunther again, but he's got to get back in line. Bronson Reed approached Chad Gable backstage and said, yeah, get to the back of the line. I'm up next for that Intercontinental Championship. And Chad Gable's like, no, let's go one-on-one. I'll suplex you tonight. Chad Gable wasn't able to suplex Bronson Reed in this match. He attempted it, but he couldn't get him all the way up. In the end, Bronson Reed was able to hit the Tsunami Splash on Chad Gable to pick up the victory, and I was so confused. I thought for sure Chad Gable had this W. I thought for sure he was going to suplex Bronson Reed, and then this match was going to be over. I was like, what? He loses by the Tsunami Splash, and then they announce a match next week between Otis and Bronson Reed. I'm like, what, dude? Chad Gable totally should have had this W, and then they should have put him right back up, first in line for the Intercontinental Championship that Gunther has. I think that would have been a genius idea, bro. For real. Have him suplex Bronson. He'd look like more of a beast, and then send him into another match with Gunther. Have him dethrone Gunther. I want Gable to dethrone Gunther, if you guys cannot tell. Becky Lynch issued an open challenge on Monday Night Raw for the NXT Women's Championship, and I'm like, oh, this is going to be epic. Who's going to answer this open challenge? Maybe like a new up-and-comer from NXT? No. We got Natalya. Yeah. We got frickin' Natalya. She comes out. I've been working hard for all these years, 15 years. Like, Natalya, like, oh my God, you are so just boring, bro, okay? Like, stop. Stop taking these opportunities from younger talent. It's so annoying. I mean, she also called Becky Lynch out for doing that by taking the NXT Championship. But Becky Lynch had an opportunity, and she took it. But Natalya had an opportunity, took it, and failed. She lost the match by a roll-up from Becky Lynch. I'm like, really, bro? Natalya always gets these big opportunities, and then she squanders them because she never wins. Super annoying. Natalya, retire, please. Go Becky Lynch, though. Looking good as NXT Women's Champion. I like that. Tommaso Ciampa did not have a match with the Ring General Gunther, but he did have a match with Giovanni Vinci. I swear, when they need an opponent that's going to face Gunther in the future to defeat a member of Imperium, I swear they always put him up against Giovanni Vinci, and Giovanni Vinci always loses. I am so surprised Gunther has not kicked Giovanni Vinci out of the Imperium. He's always talking about how the ring is sacred, the wrestling sport is sacred, but here goes Giovanni Vinci always losing. I'm surprised they haven't kicked him out of Imperium. But he went up against Tommaso Ciampa. Giovanni Vinci did. Lost the match by tap out right in front of Ludwig Kaiser's face. Gunther was watching from backstage, obviously very disappointed. But Tommaso Ciampa wants the Intercontinental Championship. He made it clear in a little promo backstage, and I'd be down for this, bro. I mean, I do want to see Chad Gable dethrone Gunther, but this would still be a great match. No doubt about it. As far as the match between Giovanni Vinci and Tommaso Ciampa goes, though, it was okay. It was our main event of the show. Jey Uso going up against Drew McIntyre. This match was fire. Mid-match, the Judgment Day come out, start backing up Jey Uso, and Jey Uso needed to make a decision tonight. Like, does he join the Judgment Day or does he not? And he made his decision. He made a decision very, very clear. When he super kicked Damian Priest, Finn Balor, and Dominic Mysterio off the apron while his match with Drew was still going on. Drew McIntyre took advantage like anybody else would while their opponent is distracted. He hit the Claymore kick on Jey Uso and picked up the victory. I couldn't believe Jey Uso lost this match on Monday Night Raw against Drew, but he did. He focused on turning on the Judgment Day, proving himself to Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn to gain some trust on the Raw roster. But then after the match, the Judgment Day, little 3-on-1 assault on Jey Uso. Drew McIntyre was super hesitant on coming back down to the ring, but Cody Rhodes ran right past Drew McIntyre and helped out Jey Uso take out the Judgment Day, Finn Balor, Damian Priest, and Dominic Mysterio. So Cody Rhodes has got Jey Uso's back. Drew McIntyre still up in the air, but Drew was about to run down. I swear, he was just about to run down, and then Cody Rhodes' music hit, and then he's like, nah, I'm good. But yeah, this was a solid way to end the show. Jey Uso showing his allegiance to no group, no Judgment Day, no Bloodline. It's just me, Uso, since day one-ish, just like his theme song says. But yes, guys, that was Monday Night Raw setup style. I thought it was a really decent Monday Night Raw. Not as good as last week, but it was still pretty good. I'm going to give this Raw a 3 out of 5. Let's jump into Smackdown. Friday Night Smackdown was pretty freaking good. Want to know why? Because we opened with the Invisible Man, John Cena. But he was actually visible this time. Unlike that promo with The Miz a while back, John Cena makes his presence felt on SmackDown, comes out. He says that he's angry with the Bloodline and he wants a tag team partner to face Solo and Jimmy in the main event of tonight's show. He gets AJ Styles. And I find this funny because AJ Styles and John Cena are two of my favorites of all time. Cena's right there at number 1. AJ's right there at number 2. It's freaking crazy. It's two of my favorite superstars teaming together. Cena and Styles call out the Bloodline come out, they jump on the apron, they sort of tease jumping in the ring for a brawl, but then they don't. It leads to a contract signing later in the show that I will talk about. Solid way to open up the show. It's always awesome seeing Cena. Every time he comes out, I always try to savor the moment. The Street Profits had an opportunity to impress the almighty Bobby Lashley by going up against the LWO, Santos Escobar and Rey Mysterio. This tag team match was actually pretty decent. decent. I did enjoy it. Nearing the end of the match, Bobby Lashley slams Rey Mysterio on the apron. You gotta remember, Bobby Lashley isn't even a part of this match. He should not be doing that. The ref doesn't see it. Dawkins looks to take advantage of a beaten down Rey Mysterio and still can't. Rey Mysterio rolls up Angelo Dawkins, picks up the victory, and Bobby Lashley is just all around disappointed with the Street Profits. Even later backstage, he approaches the Profits and says, you know, give me back the watches, give me back the suits. It's over. If you guys can't get your act together, this isn't gonna work. I'm like, bro. So I guess the Street Profits most likely next week are gonna pop in with a super mean attitude, like injuring people. That's what I think, just so they can prove their allegiance to Bobby Lashley. But as far as the W for the LWO, they looked great out there. And I can't wait for Santos versus Rey for the US title. That's going to be so cool. It was Io Sky going one-on-one against Asuka for the Women's Championship here on SmackDown. I'm not going to lie, I was expecting more from this match. It was still pretty good, don't get me wrong. High-flying action from Io Sky, great moves from Asuka. But in the end, of course, we did have Bayley interject herself in this match by helping out Io Sky. Yeah, she helped Io Sky. Io Sky would have got passed out or tapped out if Bayley wouldn't have put the foot of Io Sky on the rope. And then Charlotte was by the commentator's desk. She ran over, tried to even up the odds for Asuka, but it didn't really work out because Io Sky was able to hit the over the moonsault off the top rope, and then it was all over from there. Io Sky retains her title with a little help from the Damage Control. As far as the match, once again, it was just okay. Austin Theory got a chance to prove himself after being embarrassed by The Rock last week. Him and Grayson Waller went up against the Brawling Brutes in what was my favorite match of the night. Edge Holland is a freaking brick, dude. I love watching that dude wrestle. Like, he is such a brute. It's in the freaking name. Like, this dude's just running over Theory, who's not a small dude. He's picking up Theory, catching him in midair like he's a luchador. It's crazy. And him and Butch, I definitely want better for them. They are such a freaking great tag team. I think the Brawling Brutes are solid, but in the end, Grayson Waller was able to help out Theory before Theory tapped out. I believe they had him in the Boston Crab. Grayson Waller hits his little stunner, and then Theory is able to take advantage with the A-Town down to pick up the victory. Austin Theory and Grayson Waller win. Definitely a good little bounce back from being embarrassed by The Rock last week, because 153 million people saw it. Sorry about that, Theory. It was supposed to be the contract signing with AJ Styles, John Cena versus Solo Sikoa and Jimmy Uso at Fastlane. Are we going to get this match? No, we're not. Cena makes his entrance, signs the contract right away. AJ Styles' music hits. AJ Styles does not come out. They pan the camera backstage, and AJ Styles is being attacked by Jimmy Uso and Solo Sikoa. They lay him out on these tables behind these shipping crates, so we can't see AJ Styles, which I would have loved to have seen AJ Styles laying on those tables when Solo jumped about 15 feet in the air, through Styles, through two tables behind shipping containers. This was the view. This was the view when Solo crashed through those tables on Solo. I was like, bro, you had to have shown that. It still looked wicked. Solo jumping 15 feet in the air is menacing looking, but I would have loved to have seen him impact AJ Styles. That would have been so much cooler, but it was still awesome. It was still awesome. Don't get me wrong. Solo, Paul, and Jimmy, they come back out to the ring, and then Cena looks to come back and get a little revenge after AJ Styles was loaded into an ambulance, but he's not. They beat down John Cena as well, and then Jimmy Uso and Solo Sikoa signed the contract, and remember, Cena's the only one that was able to sign the contract. AJ Styles did not sign the contract, so AJ Styles is not John Cena's tag partner. AJ Styles is at a local medical facility right now being evaluated. So Cena, as of now, is going into this match 1-on-2 handicap match. Will he get a tag team partner? Maybe the freaking Rock. It's going to be The Rock and John Cena going up against Jimmy Uso and Solo Sikoa at Fastlane. Could you freaking imagine that? Yes, it is kind of sad. I would have loved to have seen AJ Styles and John Cena team up. Two of my favorites teaming up to go at it, but no, I do think it's going to be The Rock helping out John Cena. The crowd was even chanting, Rocky, Rocky, Rocky. They wanted him, but he did not come out. Solo and Jimmy reign supreme. They throw up the ones, solidifying that Jimmy and Solo, I believe, have reestablished their relationship, and they're stronger than ever. But yes, that was SmackDown in a setup style. Some of the matches were lacking, but oh my gosh, the moments with the Cena Styles bloodline stuff, insanity. I'm going to give this SmackDown a solid 3 out of 5. Once again, I thought it was a pretty decent show, but it wasn't an amazing show. You guys let me know what you guys thought about both shows down in the comments down below, and I'll see you all next time. For the live is